You're Kill Dominus the Gang. You're back with another video, and today we're gonna be doing our NBA All Star Power rankings of where I had these teams at, from F tier teams, D, C, B, A, S teams. We're doing with the East and the West. I usually do them together, but more specifically, I just wanna I'm gonna divide it up this time. Just do East teams, then I'll go take these teams off and do the West teams and do it that way, cause for some reason, like some teams in the East, I feel like I could categorize them different for like maybe a S tier team, but like maybe I feel like they don't on an S tier team compared to the West teams, adding them in there and they just look kind of odd. So I was like, this year I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna just do the East and see how that goes. But I don't like to do too much talking. Like, comment, subscribe. I was supposed to be done with the bonded in the videos, but I'm recording this. It's pretty much 12:30 a.m. in the morning, and I got to get this out because tomorrow's Valentine's Day and I got a busy day. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this out now, and I ain't feel like taking the bonnet off, so we're gonna do it with the bonnet off. So who cares what you think? Who cares what the comments say? But let's go ahead and get into it, man. So we're gonna start off with the East teams. So like, comment, Scott, share this, and the Atlanta Hawks. Actually, I'm gonna get the F teams all out. Actually, no, always go side. The Hawks are a D team to me. The Hawks are coming into the year. I was very high on the Hawks. I thought they could really be like a lock for like top six team seed, and they was very underwhelming. When they had Trae Young, they was not even good. Then they was better without Trae Young. Then when they got rid of Trae Young, they was just trash. So it's just like their D team, man. I was very disappointed in them. But going on to the Boston Celtics, my favorite NBA team. And I'm putting them in the A team, man. A lot of people, including myself, I didn't think it was gonna be that good, but we're playing some great basketball. Second seed in the East at All Star break. So Jalen Brown's played like an MVP caliber player. Payne Pritchard, Derek White, defense, even the role players like the real Luka, Jordan Wash. They've been a great team this year. Defensively, they've taken a step back, but of course without Tatum. But offense, they still been really good statistically. Now in the playoffs, that's really I feel like, all right, if we got Tatum back, I feel like we got a chance to go win this thing. But if not, I think we can still win a playoff series or two, possibly. But with Tatum, I think finals is a real option with Jason Tatum on his team. But I gotta rank them on how they is so far. So there's an A caliber team. The Nets are F. They're actually tanking, like actively tanking. There's not too much to say about the Nets. The Hornets, usually they're here, but in January they had a great month in January. I would put them in C, but I'm gonna put them in low tier B. I think they're gonna be in the playoffs when it's all said and done. They're only like 3 games behind, like the 6th seed or something like that, and they could really make a playoff push. I think they will be in there playing, of course, but I think they will win. LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Colin Kneppel, they they've been winning games. They won. There was like an 8 game winning streak. They lost to when the fight broke out against the Pistons, but the Hornets been playing some good basketball since the start of the year. The Bulls are D. The Bulls live here. That's the Bulls are the Bulls. It's guard century over there right now, but that's in the Cavaliers. I'm gonna put the Cavaliers in A tier. Now, starting off the year for like the first quarter of the year, really, of the NBA season, the Cavaliers weren't a good basketball NBA team in my opinion. But they really turned it around, started a new year. They got James Harden on the team. They're undefeated with James Harden so far, and they've played some real good basketball lately. I've since the start of the new year, kind of like the Hornets, and they've been good. So I'm putting them A tier because I do feel like they did win the trade against with Darius Garland for James Harden. It makes them better because Garland has the injuries issues, and Garland's really the defensive liability. Not like Harden's a crazy defensive guy, like, but he's a better matchup fit. He could put him in different spots. He ain't a short guy like Garland is small. But Cavaliers would play some great basketball. They have a chance to go to the NBA Finals. That's what I say about them. Okay, this got really all out of range. So the Detroit Pistons, I'm going off regular season, so I got to put the Pistons at the S tier team. They've been the number one defense in the league, even with Oklahoma City Thunder. The offense, of course, is gonna have its issues. Just Cade, and you really don't have a second creator. But off the regular season so far, I give the Detroit Pistons an S tier. Man, they played some good basketball. Are going up there winning as many games. Cade is a MVP candidate. Detroit Pistons have been playing good basketball. Pacers are actively tanking, so they don't even count. The Miami Heat, C tier. Miami, like, what are we doing? You just cool with this. You hear every single trade talk, then you don't even get it. So, you can make a whole video about Miami in the first place, but I don't want to be too hunched up. I want to make sure my whole face is in the video. But the Bucks, Bucks is D tier. They're a bad team. They just got Cam Thomas, which they actually won a game against a team that we're finna get to in a little bit. But Giannis needs to leave this team. Hopefully he does leave in the offseason and not just keep edging Bucks fans by talking about he doesn't want to leave or stay with some other bull crap. But they're D. They're not a good basketball team. I don't even want to talk about them. The New York Knicks, A tier. They've made some moves lately, adding some additions to their depth, which I'm actually a fan of. Getting Jeremy Shohan. They traded for Jose Alvarado. You got OG. You got Mikal. You got Cat. You got Josh Hart. Deuce. And you got Jalen Brunson leading the charge. And the Knicks, they could continue to go to the finals. I think there's like 4 teams, well, really 5 teams that I could see potentially. You could talk me going to the finals. Really 4. Philly's like a iffy just because, but Boston, Cleveland, Knicks, and Detroit, like, I think all these teams should be thinking, like, why can't we go to the finals? The East is wide open, especially if Tatum doesn't come back to the Celtics. But if he does, then Boston should really be thinking about, okay, we could go run the table right now and win this. But the Knicks have a great team, man. They play, and they've also been another team that's playing some good basketball recently. And they're the 3rd seed. They're like, a game behind Boston, or tied or something like that. But the Magic have been they're B, but like, they've been very disappointing. I thought the offense would look better with adding Desmond Bane, and you just still have the injury problems. You got the Paolo and Franz. Like, is this gonna work? They're better without Paolo statistically. The offense moves better, but the Magic, I think it's about time for the Magic. Like, before you even think about trading Paolo or Franz, I think you have to try a new coach out, an offensive-minded coach, to really get a push and see what you really got. I do feel like, I forgot his name, but the Magic's car, I think, is running its course. And I think this offseason, you do have to go into another direction because the team is getting expensive because you got Paolo, you got Franz, you got Desmond Bane, you got Suggs. And I like Suggs a lot, but he's always hurt. But I don't know. It's tough to be a Magic because you gotta bring a new coach in there, though, for sure. 76ers are also going to go on B tier. 76ers are always going to be good. It's just playoffs with them, like injuries. They're always hurt. But that team, Joel Embiid started hooping. Maxi's been great the whole year. VJ's been good. Paul George went out with it's on suspension, but he's solid for them. Really just a role player now for them. But they have a solid team. They traded Jared McCann. I really didn't like that, but it kind of makes sense. But the team you gave it to him was a complete steal in the Oklahoma City Thunder. But next team, we get the Wizards out of the way. They're actively tanking as well. Nothing to talk about. The Wizards, next year, they might be in the C tier. You get a Trae Young, Anthony Davis. You got Alex Sarr. You got George. You got some players. And Toronto Raptors are also a B tier. Been solid team all year. So is that all for East? So yeah, that's all we got for the East teams. How we rank them. So F tier, Nets, Pacers, and Wizards. They all are trying to lose as much games as possible for draft picks. D, you got the Bulls, Hawks, and Bucks. 3 teams, you just like, what the freak? These teams aren't even that good. C, we only got the Miami Heat. Maybe I could like move the Bulls up just because like the play-ins, like their NBA championships, but they might not even make it this year. But we'll put the Bulls in C with the Heat. Just 2 teams, just like, what are we doing? B, you got good teams. Philly, I really feel like could make a championship run. Just got to get people healthy and see if it correlates to the playoffs. But you got the Magic. It's just been a mess, but they'll be in the playoffs. Hornets has been playing some really good basketball lately, and Toronto has also been surprisingly good this year as well. And you got the A tier teams. You got Celtics, Cavs, Knicks. Celtics have been good all year. Knicks have been they've had their ups and downs, but majority all right, they've been top 3 in the East. And Cavs are started off bad, but starting to get on the heater and moving in the right way, especially getting Harden. And you got S tier to the Detroit Pistons, who's been the best team in the East all year, best defense, Cade Cunningham MVP candidate. Nothing much to say. Now, if this was a playoff, if this is like a playoff, like if I had to predict the playoffs how it'll go, I would actually put like all these teams together or something. But just because I still question Detroit's going to the finals just because they don't have that second creator. The defense is good. And you got Cade, and they played tough against the Knicks last year, but he still just you got to show me some things before I really counted them. But I can say that about all 4, because the Cavs, they're never healthy in the playoffs, and James Harden's not that good in the playoffs. The Knicks, you also got the defensive liabilities with Brunson and Cat. Celtics, they don't have Tatum, and even you do got Tatum, all your role players haven't really had meaningful minutes in the playoffs. So all that could come into question. And with Philly, Joel Embiid, he's played good in his last series, but also injuries, that's always a factor with the 76ers. So it should be an interesting year for the East, but this is my rankings right here. So actually gonna go ahead and put all these back so we can get the West out the way. God dang. See, I thought this was a little bit more faster. Oh. All right, so for the West teams, we got the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks, they don't belong in F. They're a D team. Cooper Flag has been balling this year. They're a smooth team. They're not that good right now, but they're D. The Nuggets are an A-tier team. They got some serious injuries to some key players on their team, but fully healthy Nuggets, I think they could possibly beat Oklahoma City Thunder, which I will put as the S-tier team, because even though they really have fallen off since like the 22-1 start or whatever it was, because coming to the season, I don't know if I said this in my video, but I really felt like there was a real possible way that the Oklahoma City Thunder could beat that 73-9 Warriors record. And I looked like I was cooking. And then for like first little quarter of the year, then they just started losing. J-Dub came back, then it got like worse, which was crazy. But they're S-tier team. I'm still going to respect them, the defending champs. And we'll see how that goes. Now, do I think they're going to repeat? We'll get to that in May whenever we do the playoff predictions. But for now, they're the S-tier team, the only S-tier team. And the Nuggets will be A. The Golden State Warriors are a C team. When Jimmy Butler was there, I could really put him in the B team. They traded for Porzingis. I don't know if Porzingis even played yet for them, but it's just they're not a good team. It's just really Steph, and Steph is playing like an MVP caliber player right now, but it really doesn't amount to nothing because the team just isn't that good. So I do kind of feel bad for Steph. Maybe he should think about moving, but he's not gonna leave Golden State. So I don't know what to say. They're a C team though. They could still make the playoffs, play and push, but we'll go right there. The Rockets, B. Coming into the, I can't remember if I really had the Rockets. I thought the Rockets really could have been in the A team, especially after the opening night game. I was like, yeah, they could contend and be an A, but I'm gonna put them in B. They've been kind of set apart from the teams that I have in A and S, of course. But we'll get into more of that later. The Clippers, I put the Clippers in C. The Clippers have been playing actually some better basketball lately. They start off terrible, like they're going to give the Thunder a freaking top 3 pick. But they've been playing some solid basketball, and it's all right. They're just an old team. Nothing crazy. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but maybe playing. Lakers are a B team. Their defense is trash. This whole starting 5 are cones, but you got Luka, you got Reeves, you got Braun. You'll win some regular season games. I don't view the Lakers as a real contender. But yeah. The Grizzlies are D. They traded Jaren Jackson to a team we'll get to later, because I am intrigued by that team's future. But the Grizzlies look like they're stacking up on draft picks. They got a whole bunch of draft picks for Jaren and Desmond Bane. Still got Ja on the team. I really don't know if they're gonna trade Ja or keep him around. I don't think they're gonna rebuild around Ja, but I think they like might just keep him around and have him with the new core that they try to bring in, or trade him. But we'll see if Ja does get traded. I think Ja likes Memphis. And from what I always hear coming out, I don't think they really want to move off Ja, but I think Ja stays. But they're a D team. They're not gonna do anything. I don't think they've been playing. Timberwolves B team. You got Ants been balling. You got a Randall. You got Gobert. Still really don't have guard help. They did trade for I always mess up his name. I'm just gonna call him Ayo from the Bulls. But that was a good pick. I did like that a lot. They don't got Rob no more, sadly, but Rob wasn't even playing for them, so it really didn't matter. But they're a B team. The Pelicans are F. Pelicans are been very disappointing. Coming into the year, I was like, the Pelicans could possibly make the play-in because they had a whole bunch of players that like you knew they had talent. It really didn't mesh together, but they're just a bad team. The Suns were actually gonna put the Suns in B team. The Suns have been one of the more surprising teams in the NBA. Probably I would say the most surprising team if it wasn't for the Celtics, but you could really argue like maybe the Celtics were still gonna make the playoffs just because the East was weak. But the Suns were like a top 5 team, top 6 team in the West, and nobody saw that coming. Dylan Brooks really brought wherever Dylan Brooks goes, teams win. I think we should put some stock into Dylan Brooks, but yeah, that's what we're gonna have for the Suns for the B. Trailblazers. I'm putting Trailblazers in D. I don't think the Trailblazers gonna make. I gotta look at the Trailblazers record or something. Hold on. NBA. Hold on. The Trailblazers are 27-29. They're the 9th seed. Yeah, we're gonna put them in C. The Trailblazers, I don't think they're gonna do anything, but they've been a solid team all year. Denny Alva did make the All-Star game. I don't really have too much to say. I don't really watch any Trailblazers games. I'm gonna lock in more with them after the All-Star break, but that's all I gotta say. Kings F. Kings suck. Spurs are A team. Wembyana, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox. I really do like the role players around Wemby, the guys they got, and they could potentially go on a run. And Wemby's a crazy, like, does what he's supposed to do in the playoffs. And they really become onto De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle. I really like their team a lot. Vassell, they have a solid team, so they're also in the A team. And the Spurs have showed they could bang with the Thunder and the Nuggets during the regular season. We got to see if that correlates to the playoffs, of course, but I'm confident enough putting the Spurs in A team. I could see the Spurs going to the finals this year, which would be crazy because it'd be way ahead of the schedule. Because a lot of people didn't think they would be that good. Well, everybody was expecting a playoff jump, but like top 3, top 2 seed NBA Finals, potentially Western Conference Finals jump. That's something major right there. And was that the last team? Is the Jazz? Yep, the last team is the Utah Jazz, which is an F. They got fined for tanking, which is funny. But I think they're trash this year. But next year I do feel like they can be solid with Walker Kessler back, Jaren Jackson back, Lauri Markkanen, Ace Bailey. Like they got some guys on that team that could be talented next year. I could see them competing next year. Adding another draft pick, one of the big 3 in this coming class to that team right there, I think that could really be great. And they have a tall team. They can really go tall with the Utah Jazz. So I think I do like the future. Them and the Wizards do have interesting futures in my opinion. Well, for next year on how I will predict them coming into the season. But we ain't worried about that. This is what we got right now. So for the F teams, we got the Pelicans, Kings, and Jazz. Whole bunch of trash. Teams that aren't good and tanking. D is the Grizzlies and Mavericks. The Mavericks have Cooper Flag. They do got something going for them. They're just not that good. The Grizzlies, they're just not that good. C-tier teams, we got the Warriors, Trailblazers, and Clippers. The Warriors, it's really just Steph out there. Feel bad for him. Salutes, as Darvin Ham would say. The Trailblazers, they're a young team. They've been playing solid basketball. I haven't watched a lot of Trailblazers games to really sit down and talk about them a lot, but I have seen a little bit, but they've They're looking better. I can say that. They played good basketball lately in the tough West. And the Clippers are like old, but they've been playing better basketball recently. Started off terrible, and they are making a play-in push. For the B team, we got the Rockets, Timberwolves, Lakers, and Suns. Rockets, I wish they would have got a guard. I did see something about like James Harden was interested in going to the Rockets, but the Rockets wasn't interested in that. I don't know what they would have had to give up for him, but if it wasn't like nothing crazy, why would you go get him? Like, the Rockets need a point guard. That's something they really do need. And I know some people like Fred VanVleet, but I'm not the biggest Fred VanVleet guy, so I really don't even believe in that for real. But next one, we got the Timberwolves. You got Ant, Julius Randle. That team, the defense, even though the defense kind of falling off a little bit with Ant and Randle, but it's won back-to-back years WCF, so you respect them. The Lakers, they're all cones, but LeBron, Luka, and Reeves, they're going to win regular season games for sure. And the Suns have been one of the most surprising teams, playing gritty, tough basketball over there. A team, now we got teams that I think could potentially go to the finals. Well, and continuing to go to the finals is the Spurs and the Nuggets. Two of the best teams in basketball. And number one, we do have the S tiers, the Oklahoma City Thunder, reigning champs. And these three teams right here, the Thunder, Spurs, and Nuggets, are my top three teams in the NBA right now. I think if it was the Thunder, Nuggets, or Spurs, like they'll beat whoever in the East. Sadly, that's how it is. Probably the Rockets. The Rockets probably beat whoever in there too. But this is my rankings for it at the All-Star break. So we'll talk on NBA again. Probably playoff predictions. We'll come back for the NBA, another NBA video, but sooner or later, we'll actually be getting two expansion teams probably. Seattle Supersonics will come back. Seattle will get their team. And probably Las Vegas will get a team. And they'll probably move the Grizzlies of Minnesota over to the East. Probably Minnesota. I think they just picked Minnesota just because of the name. Like, you got Ant, so you can have somebody else in the East. Because I think the NBA has been trying to boost up the East a little bit. But that's it for the video, man. That's all we got to say. It is 12:48, going on 1 o'clock. And I got to be up early in the morning. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a video. Like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below if you agree with me or some hot takes you got. Comment, I'm going to respond. Simple as that. But let's go ahead and get into that, man. And I hope y'all have a blessed day, because I know I will. And this video will be coming out on Valentine's Day. So if you got a loved one, spend time with them. If you don't, call your mama up. Tell her happy Valentine's Day. Take her out to eat. Saying nothing wrong with that, but without further ado, have a blessed day, and bang, bow, 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 bow.